Hi friends, welcome back to the Goose and Ghost Knitting Podcast. My name is Ashley and I am the maker and designer behind Goose and Ghost Knits. You can find me on Instagram as Goose and Ghost Knits and on Ravelry as Goose and Ghost. And I'm coming to you today from, as I am most other days, from a very windy, very beautiful Cleveland, Washington in the middle of the Cascade Mountains. And we've got a lot to talk about today. I don't have many projects to share, but oh boy, do I still have a lot to talk about. And I mean, you can see the first project that we get to talk about today, and I'm very excited about it, and we'll get to it in a couple minutes, but let's just go over everything we're going to talk about today, because I've got a list. There's a lot going on. It might be a little chaotic. It might, actually, I don't think it'll be that chaotic. I think it'll be pretty straightforward, but there is a lot to talk about. So, first, we'll go through all of my knitting projects like normal, and then wrapped into the acquisition section, we've got a little section, a little meander, if you will, at my time at Flock Fiber Festival. I was lucky enough to get to go this weekend, and it was an absolute blast, and I walked away with a bag full of items to take home that I had spent money on. I did stay within budget, you guys. I talked about that in my last episode where I was like, we're gonna have a problem because I'm gonna go over budget. I didn't. I stayed well under budget actually, so go me. But it was a grand old time. I had so much fun. It was absolutely fantastic, and I'm very excited for it next year. But we got more to talk about before we get to that. So let's go into the FO for today. Just one FO because I was furiously knitting on it to try and get it done. And it's this. This is my Miserina by Caitlin Hunter. Let me get up on my knees here so I can show you a little bit better. I'll cut away to some B-roll here. This is my Miserina by Caitlin Hunter, and this was my project to wear to Flock. This was what I was planning on wearing the whole time. Everybody else gets their Rhinebeck sweaters. I was gonna go in with a Flock tee, and I want it to be this. So I managed to get it done. Barely. I cast off at 8 p.m. the night before I went to Flock. I don't know how I managed that, but it worked. I did steam block it. It definitely needs a good wet block just to like make sure everything's in place. But I steam blocked it and pinned it out on the hotel bed. There's 2 beds in our hotel room. And so I pinned it out on the other bed the night before, and it worked out great. It got the amount of ease. I mean, it is still not the ease that I was expecting. It is just a little, I would say it's positive ease still at my bust, but it is not as much ease as I was expecting, and that is totally my fault. My gauge was off. My gauge is always off. I'm a tight knitter, but it's a lot tighter than what I was hoping it would be, which actually ended up being okay because I finished with 20 grams left of this. And I don't know how much I would have ended up with if I actually knit it properly to size. Probably still enough. So it is tighter. I think I knit it, I have a 40.5 inch bust. I think I was supposed to knit the 48 inch size, and it's probably like 41 or 42 inches at the bust. I haven't measured, I haven't cared that much, but it came out smaller than I was hoping. And when I tried it on before I blocked it, it was like tight. Definitely neutral to negative ease all the way down. But blocking solves all problems, right? So it actually came out wearable, and I'm very happy with it. I'm actually, like, I love it. I love it a lot. And it's going to be a wardrobe staple for sure. Because it's a t-shirt, I'm still going to be able to wear it like underneath flannels, underneath jackets, once it starts getting colder. So I'm a big fan. I love it a lot. So the yarn that I used, this dark green here, for my main color is Sorella nylon sock, and it's an oopsie. You can really see like the banding around my chest. It didn't happen as much lower down, and I did helical knit with 2 skeins of yarn all the way through the body. I didn't helical knit on the sleeves. They were so short I didn't bother, but I helical knit all the way down the body. So it's interesting that the banding is right across my chest. So Sorella nylon sock, oopsie colorway. I got it about a year ago, so I suspect that it's from the original Taylor Swift collection. Year ago, 2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. I suspect it's from the original Taylor Swift collection, and I suspect that it's Ivy. I kind of wish that I'd picked up more skeins of it when they re-released the Taylor Swift collection just recently, but I didn't. I was saving all my money for Flock, so it is what it is. I'm just going to love this as much as I can. It's just a fantastic, beautiful green. And then this minty, icy green color is Knit Picks Stroll Tonal in the color Eucalyptus. It's fantastic. I actually have all of this left and one more full skein, which is great. Because I originally got, I didn't get these yarns for this purpose, but I originally paired these yarns together for the Stephen West cowl last year, and I wasn't enjoying working on it, so I stopped and repurposed the yarn, and turned into this, and I love it, and it's great, and I'm going to wear this way more than I will a Stephen West shawl. It's just, they're a little bit out there for my style. I will say I have my shawlography still, and I do wear that, and I love that, but the one last year wasn't just, it wasn't quite my style. It was just fine. This is. So, modifications to it, the body is supposed to have a either pearl or eyelet texture throughout, and I just decided to stick with stockinette. I was knitting at boat races on it, and my mental load at those times, very little, so I just decided to do stockinette. Turned out great. Not worried about it. That might be why my gauge was off too, now that I think about it. I'm sure that adding the texture changes the gauge. I didn't think about that until just now, but it is what it is. And I also added 3 inches to the body, and it's still cropped. It's still pretty cropped. If I were to leave it at the length that is recommended in the pattern, it would be indecent. It would be a look. It wouldn't be a good look. But I have to add length to everything I make just because my torso is so long. So I added 3 inches. It's still pretty cropped, but it's at a length that I'm comfortable being cropped at now. So it's great. And that's all I have to say about that for now. I love it. I'm excited to have it in my collection, in my wardrobe, in my closet, all of the words. And I'll definitely be getting a lot of wear out of it. It's really pretty. And I will say, like, I got so many compliments on it at Flock. All of my friends that I went to dinner with kept saying that, like, it's so pretty and it suits you so well, and I got a lot of compliments, so I was very excited about that too. We'll talk about flock later. Come on, stay on track, Ashley. Stay on track. But as it says, I only have 2 other projects to show you. One, actually I kind of have a third project, but it was a project I showed you last week. We'll start with some stalks. This is what I cast on for flock to work on at flock, and for the boat race that I was at that weekend as well. And I just needed a project to work on, so I cast on some vanilla socks. And I got through the first sock. Here, and now I'm on the second sock. I'm actually on the heel row. So this one is ready for the heel. And this yarn, I started working this yarn and I just wasn't enjoying the color. It's not me. It's gray and pink and purple and blue, and it's not my vibe. That's what it looks like. It is an opal yarn, so I did decide to give it to my best friend. I just went to go pull the tag for the yarn out of my project bag, and I pulled the tag out, but I also pulled out cash. That was a fun surprise. That was a really fun surprise. So I'm going to give these to my best friend. This is a opal yarn. It's their beauty yarn in the color 992 Silver Star. I'm sure that it's pronounced with a German accent, but that's what the tag says. The color is 992, and this one actually is kind of cool because it has that rustic feeling that you know, opal yarn has, but it's infused with Edelweiss extract and vitamin E, so it feels like really good as you're working it. It feels like it's conditioning your hands, so that's really nice. I kind of hope that that comes through like when she's wearing them too. So yeah, these will be a gift for my best friend because these are very much her colors. She is a big navy and gray person. Gray is her favorite color in the whole wide world. She loves gray. So, and she loves like little pops of pink and accessories and stuff, but she is a gray girly. Nobody tell Lauralee I'm making her these. I know she occasionally watches the podcast, but nobody tell Lauralee. And it's in this little bag that I made. So cute. This is a vintage little ditzy floral that my mom found in her stash. So this is, I don't know if I will keep using this bag for socks. It'll probably turn into a notions pouch at some point, but it's so cute. Little vanilla socks. Nothing exciting. But my other project is also a straight stockinette project, and it's also not, oh, actually it is kind of exciting. It is straight stockinette. So that part's not exciting, but you guys, this is exciting. I am so excited about this. I picked back up my striped sweater this week. Once I finished this and I realized like I don't have to rush on this anymore, I picked it back up and just started enjoying the process of working on this. And oh my god, I'm obsessed. Completely and utterly obsessed. I am so excited to get to wear this somewhere down the line. So since I started working on it again, it rolls up really bad on the needles. But I've done 3 whole stripes. So this is the Cozy Classic Light by Jessie Maed, and I am using 4 different fingering weight yarns to make it. Hold it up here so you can like see it well. So when I picked it back up, I started at the beginning of this dark green, and yesterday, so I did these 3 stripes all in the last 2 days. I did the green stripe all on Wednesday, today's Friday, all on Wednesday, and last night I ended up going out to dinner with my parents and some of their friends to watch preseason football, and I knit all of this one and all of this one while at the club. Not like a nightclub. It was an Eagles club. Because that's what there is to do in my small town, is go to the Eagles with my parents. So I did that while I was out with them, and starting to get some decent length in the body, but it's going a lot quicker than I thought it would be. But this is also really the only project I've worked on this week. So let's go through the yarns real quick. The collar here and all of the subsequent ribbing on the cuffs and the hemline will be, this is Cascade Heritage and whatever their brown is. The dark green here is a tweed yarn from Woolin Co, and it is called the Black Forest. This light green with all of the pretty speckles is Coast to Coast Yarn Co in Foraging Gold, and this cream color that is almost the exact same color as my skin tone is also Coast to Coast Yarn Co, and it is Polypore. So I'm so excited about this. I'm like, I don't need to do a try on of it because I tried it on right after I split for sleeves, and it was great. Fit was really good, had a couple inches of positive ease, but I want to try it on just so I can see what it looks like because I'm so excited about it. It's going to look so good. And I've got my gold. This was just sitting on my bed. I needed to hang it up and put it away. Got my gold estuary skirt from So Liberated here. And this is actually what I wore to Flock, was these 2. But I'm so excited to wear those together. And I've got another pair of pants that I'm really excited to wear with it. And I'm just excited to wear it. I'm so excited to wear it. So once I finish this sock, I'm probably not going to cast on another sock for a little bit just because I'm kind of bored of socks right now. I do need to pick back up these Shark Bite socks that I started for my mom and then never cast on the second sock because my headspace for it wasn't there. So I need to make my second sock for it. But after that, I think I'll probably be done with socks for a little bit. This will turn into my vanilla knitting project, and I am going to cast on. I swatched today for my next sweater project that I'm going to work on concurrently with this. So I'm gonna have 2 sweaters on the needle again, but those are probably going to be my only 2 projects, as opposed to I've got 2 sweaters on the needles, a test knit, a pair of socks. It's just going to be 2 sweaters and my wedding shawl. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, the last project that I want to show you was something that I showed you in my last episode as an FO, and it was before it had been blocked, so now it's been blocked and the pattern has been released. So I wanted to show you my completed, very pretty Seattle Doodle cowl by Pacific Knit Co, Jamie Lomax, who I actually finally got to meet in person at Flock. I keep talking about Flock, but This is what it looks like on. So cute. It's actually really warm. The wool on wool might not be the move today. This is coming off. It's too warm. But it's so cute. It's out now. And I highly recommend going and checking it out, because even if you're not like, if you don't have a connection to Seattle, it has a lot of like naturey themed things, because that's what Seattle is. So go check it out. Highly recommend it. Great project to work on, and it was one of my favorite test knits that I've ever been in. Actually, it might be the favorite test knit that I've ever been in. We've talked about all of the projects now. Shall we move on to talking about Flock and all of my acquisitions that I got at Flock? I will say that it was incredibly difficult to decide what to buy. There were so many incredible vendors, but this is what I walked away with. Everything is in my my bag here. This is my large knitting notions bag. Mine is upside down. That's why I decided to keep it, because I made a little mistake when I was sewing it together. So this one's mine. It lives with me. But I will have them linked down below if you'd like to go purchase your own. So everything is stored in here, and we will start discussing. So I went on Saturday, which was the day the market was open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it was the longest day it was available. And I had friends that went Friday night, and they were sending me pictures that the line was wrapped around the building before 15 minutes before opening. I was like, no way. That's insane. No way. This is no way. And yet, I showed up at 9:30 on Saturday morning, and it was in Magnuson Park in Seattle. So if you don't know, Magnuson is a former military base that has now been turned into a city park. So it's got lots of soccer fields and baseball fields and Lake Washington access, and it also has airplane hangars, and Hangar 30 is the biggest one that is open for public use, and that is where Flock was held this year. So you drive into Magnuson Park and you can immediately see Hangar 30. So I drove into the park, and the line was in fact wrapped all the way around the building. My mom's calling me. She is mother of the bride dress shopping right now. Alright, that was actually a short call. That was not the dress for my mom. She can do so much better. So, the line was already wrapped all the way around the building, and it's a big park. It's a very big park. It has the barracks have been turned into housing, and there's the theaters, and it's a huge park. So I had to park almost a mile away to get to Hangar 30, which I kind of felt like was going to be the case, just because I know how Magnuson is. I've gone to a lot of soccer games there in my day, but is what it is. But I actually managed to pull into the parking lot at the same time as my friend who I was meeting up with to go to the festival together. So we were able to walk in, and we actually had never met before then in person. We've only chatted over Instagram, so it was really good to meet up with her. Very convenient timing that we managed to pull into the same parking lot at the same time. So go us. That was great. So we get in line, and we're there in line about 15 minutes before doors open. And, we're just chatting with everyone around us, getting to know everyone, talking about projects, talking about what everyone wants to buy. It was great, good fun. Then we get inside, and my one must-purchase item was I wanted a sweater quantity of Boucle yarn. Well, I had been stalking all of the vendors' pages for the last couple days before the festival, and I kind of come to figure out really one of the only ones that was offering Boucle yarn was Explore Knits and Fibers. So I had heard the night before on the Friday evening their stock sold out completely for what they'd set aside for Friday. And it seems like about over half of the line had heard that as well. So everyone bum rushed the Explore Knits and Fibers booth. And because I wanted the Boucle yarn so badly, I got caught up in that line. But I did manage to get in line and get my sweater quantity of Boucle yarn in an Ashley color. Look at that, I got green. So I got in there. There was a huge line to get into the booth, and then once everything, you had picked out everything you want, there was another huge line to check out. So I went and rushed and got to the Boucle, and I was deciding between two different greens. It was this and like a yucky, olivey, mossy green that was called Muckross. And so my determining factor on this is called To the Stars Who Listen, which I talked a little bit about it, but I recently read A Court of Thorns and Roses and fell hard and fast for it, and I am all in on it, and I'm obsessed. So To the Stars Who Listen is a quote from A Court of Thorns and Roses. So that was my determining factor, was being a big nerd. So I'm not mad about it. I actually really love this color. I'm going to be making a port sweater by Ozetta, and I'm very excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be so cozy. So that will be coming up soon. That's going to be like the one thing that I really want to make for this winter, because that's going to be like ultimate coziness. Also on brand, because green sweater, green sweater, green sweater. What's my favorite color? Don't worry about it. So then my next stop was going to meet the people online that I've been talking to forever and have made such great friendships with. I made a rush to go get to the Doodle bar that was featuring Pacific Knit Co, who is Jamie, Fangirl Fibers, who is Emily, and Yarnaceous, who is Maggie, who I've said so many times before, Maggie is one of my favorite dyers in the entire world, and I've collaborated with her twice in the past. Stay tuned. Wink, wink, wink. And I was so excited to finally get to meet them. All three of them I've chatted with so much and have made friendships with, so made a point to go there next, and their booth was so busy. I didn't get a chance to do anything more than hug each of them, say hi, and then I let them be because they were so busy. I did not see their booth slow down all day. But I did pick up a couple things from Fangirl Fibers while I was in their booth. The first, I'm sorry, crinkle noises here. The first was a set of stitch markers. And Emily did have a set of Flock Fiber Festival exclusive stitch markers that I was going to get, and then I saw this set instead, and I got this one instead. So the Flock Fiber Festival one was only $3. This one is There's a lot of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 stitch markers. So let's see if I can. They're all, oh, they're all crumpled up really badly on the thing, but they're all Seattle themed stitch markers. So let's go through, and we've got Mount Rainier. I think like my camera might actually work with me today. The Great Wheel, focus for Mount Rainier. A salmon that says Fish Market on it, or Pike Place Market. This one says Public Market, which is Pike Place Market. We've got a Space Needle, a coffee cup, that one's backwards, a fairy, which this is what our fairies look like in Puget Sound, an umbrella, which is fake Seattle. Absolutely not. You're not from Seattle if you're using an umbrella. And this one says Seattle. So I got that set because it felt a little bit more special than the Flock Fabrics Festival exclusive set. And I surprised myself and didn't buy any of her Disney stitch markers, because I know that I can buy the Disney stitch markers at any point, and she probably won't have Seattle ones all the time. So it felt a little bit more special. But the one thing that I did buy that was Disney from her is she had a Haunted Mansion Doodle bundle, which this is all DK weight yarn, all the colors are themed to the Haunted Mansion. So we've got a full skein pure black and all of these pretty neons that are all themed to the Haunted Mansion. And it comes with, I actually already have a stitch marker because I got her Haunted Mansion Halloween countdown calendar a couple years ago, but it has got a Hatbox Ghost stitch marker on it. And then Maggie from Yarnaceous gave me a dinosaur paw stitch mark, dinosaur foot, paw, whatever, stitch marker that I attached on there too. And then if you spent over $25 in their booth from anything from Yarnaceous, Fangirl Fibers, or Pacific Knit Co., you got one of these bags. It was completely holographic, and it says, "In my defense, I was left unsupervised and the Fiber Festival was open." And it's got all three of their logos down here. So this is great. This just held a bunch of my stuff that I got. And it's a fun little bright holographic bag. I love it. So that is what I got from them. I didn't actually get anything from Yarnaceous, which feels weird, which feels really weird, but I kept staring at things and was like, I don't know what to get. I was having like decision fatigue. So I just didn't buy anything, because I had been talking to her beforehand, and she said she was going to bring some of the leftovers from her The Last of Us collection that she had just put out. She had just done pre-orders for in July. She was going to bring leftovers, and there was a colorway that I really wanted, and then she didn't end up bringing it, so I didn't buy it, but we'll work something out. It may still come into my possession. So, but we'll see. And then I spent a bunch more time wandering around, but I didn't buy all that much more. I got a wool wash from Woolin Co. in her orange and clover scent. And this is just what it looks like, you know, just a solid wool wash. but oh my god, does it smell incredible. The next project I block, I'm so excited to block with this. Just one more time. The other wool washes I have are citrusy. I have a Dole Whip from Sorella, so it's pineapple, and I have just a Eucalyptus grapefruit, so citrusy. I mean, this is also orange, so it's also citrusy, but the clove makes it like spicy and very fall. So it's gonna be really good. So she uses, I think it's actually two girls. They use coconut, olive, lanolin, castor, avocado butter, mango butter, shea butter, and fragrance. Essential oil fragrances. So it's incredible. This is so good. This was only $8, so it was really affordable too, and it's a solid wool wash, so it's gonna last forever. So then I only got a couple more things. I got 2 sock yarns. One that is incredibly on brand. This is Scarecrow on Wendigo sock from Bigfoot Yarn Co, who is a local dyer to me. She is from Washington. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I am very excited to make socks from these at some point. But for now, they're going to the stash because I'm not vibing with socks right now. And the other one I got is a little outside my comfort zone, a little bit unlike me. But I passed by the Super Glow booth like 3 or 4 times, and every time I did, this yarn caught my eye, and eventually I was like, you know what, I just have to get it. Like, not me at all, but it makes me smile really big. It's so pretty. This is called Birthday Glow, and it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's beautiful. It's fun. It is the complete opposite of what I typically go for, and yet I'm obsessed. So that's it. And then the last purchase that I made, I said that I was going to do this one. The last purchase I made was some Spincycle. This is dyed in the wool in the color Rusted Rainbow. I think it's beautiful. So I cannot decide right now. Leave a comment down below. Tell me which one I should do, because I cannot decide if this is going to turn into a sheep camp sweater or a alpine bloom sweater. Help me pick. I cannot decide. It's beautiful. Look at that. So pretty. Love it. Very excited for it. But that was all that I ended up purchasing. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for not like blowing my budget. I am a little bit surprised at myself for not blowing my budget. But I'm glad for it, because now I have, you know, some more money for if other things pop up I want to buy. Because I have been saving my money for a really long time to go crazy at Flock. So go me. So I ended up spending the whole day there, and most of the day was spent wandering around the marketplace and chatting with people. And then at one point in the early afternoon, the friend that I had met up with and gone with decided to go home, but I had been invited out to dinner with some other friends, with the ladies at the Doodle bar, and I really wanted to go, so I stayed behind and I stayed there the whole day, and I ended up finding a table that I just sat down at. Actually, it was pretty close outside of the Fangirl Fibers Yarnaceous Pacific Knit Co booth. So I was able to sit down, and whenever any of them were not busy, they would wander over and we'd chat, and it was great. And then like other people would come in and sit down and chat, and it was probably the most that I've talked to people in a really long time, but it was very fulfilling because everyone was just sitting there knitting. I was working on my socks. We were just sitting there knitting and just talking about whatever. It was really nice. And I've been really anxious for a long time. I have diagnosed social anxiety. I've been very anxious for a really long time about going to a knitting group. There's one in the next town over from me, at the yarn store there called Yarn Folk in Ellensburg, Washington. But I've been scared. I've been anxious, and for no reason other than just I'm nervous around new people. But sitting there and talking to everyone and just coming and going, and we were all knitting together and talking about our projects and talking about life and all the other things, it opened me up to it more, and I feel more comfortable with it. So that was great. So then I said that I went to dinner then afterwards with all of the friends that I've made online and some of their friends. I met some new people, and we all chatted a bunch and drank ciders and hung out. I had so much fun. Absolute blast. Probably, like, I've never gone to a yarn festival before, but like I kind of understand why some people are so fanatic now about Rhinebeck if it's anything like this was. It was incredible. I had been looking forward to it for so long. I had so much fun. I'm just gonna keep saying that. I had so much fun. I'll absolutely be going back next year. So, and then I got home the next day, and there was more yarn from Fangirl Fibers in my mailbox. I hadn't ordered anything, but I subscribed to the Disney Parks Attractions Club from her monthly club, so my club for the month had arrived. So spoilers for the Disney Parks Attraction Club if you haven't received yours yet for July. I got it at the beginning of August, so the July club. This is Toy Story Midway Mania. Very fun, very bright, very bold. Big fan. Really love it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's my little overview of vlog. I will have had inserted in some clips. I will insert in another clip after this. I had planned to do a full standalone vlog, but I just didn't end up recording enough. So I will insert in the clips that I took to start the vlog here. Hi friends, welcome back to the Goose and Ghost Knitting Podcast. My name is Ashley, and I am the maker and designer behind Goose and Ghost Knits, and I'm coming to you today right now from my hotel room in Seattle, and in just a couple minutes I will be at Flock Fiber Fest. So today we're doing a little vlog. I'm gonna take you along with me on my day at Flock Fiber Festival. I am so excited. Like, can you see my smile? I am so excited. I am vlogging on my phone today, so like the camera's over here, but I have my screen, so if you see me, like, I'm sorry, I would get easily distracted. So I'm gonna take you along with me on my day at Flock, and let's get started. The lighting here is absolutely horrendous, so I apologize, but I figured first let's do a little OOTD, little flock fit, little knit fit of the day. So we'll start with the FO that I finished last night, literally at 8 o'clock. It's about 8:30 or almost 8:45 I think now in the morning. So I finished this 12 hours ago. Steam blocked it. I was really anxious about the fit last night, but this is my finished Miserina tee by Caitlin Hunter. The contrast color here is Knit Picks Stroll Tonal in Eucalyptus, and the main color for the body is Sorella Nylon Sock. It's an oopsie. I believe that it was Ivy from the Taylor Swift collection, but they look great together. I was very nervous about the fit last night. I will talk more about it in my next podcast episode. And then for the skirt, I've got my me-made estuary skirt. So altogether, this is what we got. This is a cotton linen blend that I got from Joann, and of course, my Birkenstocks, because I'm incapable of doing anything without wearing my Birkenstocks. And then for my bag today, I will be taking along my large size Knitting Notions project bag that you can find linked down below. Let's go. Other than that, I was at a boat race that weekend too, so I left the boat race. Thankfully it was in Seattle. Left the boat race to go to Flock. Went back to the boat race on Sunday. Was there on Friday too. Sorry, my mom is still texting me about Mother of the Bride dresses. She's found so much cuter ones online. I don't know why she's like trying to force herself into settling into the ones she's finding right now. Probably because she's at Nordstrom Rack and No, mama. Okay. So we went back on Sunday to the boat race. We didn't do so well. So we had been doing really, really well all weekend, and this was the last race of the season. We didn't do so well. So on to the next season. We'll keep improving for next season. But the other really exciting thing is I have another online friend that I have been talking to her for 10 years, and she lives on the East Coast, complete opposite side of the country. We've never met before, but we've been talking for 10 years. And she and her boyfriend took a vacation to Seattle, so we got to meet on Sunday too. So that was crazy. I met like all of my internet friends in one weekend. But it was good fun. I'm glad the season is over. I'm glad to get back into a routine. And the other exciting thing that I probably should have mentioned this earlier, this is the 1 year anniversary of this podcast. Today is the 11th. I posted the first episode on the 14th. So that's really exciting. We're now a full year into this podcast. So if you've been watching since episode 1, thank you. If you've been watching since episode 24, this episode, thank you. Hope you stick around. We'll keep going. I have no reason to stop. It's kind of a nice little diary to show you what I'm working on, show myself what I'm working on. It's fun. It's exciting. I don't have the biggest following, but I'm not overly pressed about it. It's still fun. Why not? I can keep going. So, I didn't write down any of my goals for the next 2 weeks. I actually do have some though, so my brain right now is absolute chaos, so I'm really excited to get back into a routine. I want to start working out again. That went on a pause while I had been boat racing, and the summer's just chaotic and stressful, and also I sprained my ankle really bad 3 weeks ago, so I couldn't really do anything because of that. So I'm excited to start working out again. My other goal is I would like to finish the body on this sweater. I think you can do it. I did the math out yesterday. Each of these sections, the 3 stripe sections, is 4 inches, and I would like to go to 12-ish inches, so I need to do 3 more of these sections, and this one section took me 2 days, so I'm totally sure that I can get the body done on that section, on that sweater. So get back to working out again. I really like Pilates. Finish the body of my Cozy Classic Light. have designs. That was the other thing from Flock. I got so inspired. So inspired. There were so many things fluttering through my head when I left. I need to start getting some of the design ideas that I had down onto paper. So maybe start one of the design ideas that I had. So those are my 3 goals. Let's see if I get any of them done. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which of those 2 sweaters you think I should make with this. Did you go to Flock? Are you going to a fiber festival this year? Let me know. I'd love to chat with you about it. Apparently I'm very chatty right now. So leave a comment down below, subscribe, like this video, all of the things, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye friends.